Hello and welcome. This is episode 0 of a podcast I'm calling PWiSM, or The Present Week in Social Media. I am Matt, and I'm happy to have you here. This is an idea that someone proposed to me from my full-time job, actually a number of years ago now, and people who know me know that I do some live streaming, some game streaming on the side. And I really liked this idea, but I went a little nuts with it at first. And you know, thought that I had to blow up into this whole huge thing. I wanted to be super, official to start. I've pulled it all way back. Over the last week, I've put in some serious thought on, like, what would the smallest little tidbit be? So I'm reusing a lot of my live stream sort of branding, personal branding around this stuff. And I've come up with a thing that I'm going to put on YouTube, and I guess SoundCloud has a podcasting ability now. So we're going to give it a shot. I meant to start a timer on my phone, and I totally didn't. So that's too bad. I'll cue up the timer for the second segment that isn't my intro, and we'll just sort of roll with it. So with all that in mind, hopefully if I click this button, hey, we're over here. I apologize to the audio listeners. I'm more used to doing video casting. So there's going to be a lot of things where I probably talk about stuff that's on the screen, and you're going to have no idea what I'm talking about. I apologize. Maybe that'll get better in time. The purpose of this podcast, and what video users are seeing, what I'll try to describe for audio users, is I'm just going to read stuff from the last week. We're starting with Twitter. Twitter is a little bit easy for this purpose, and this was the original intent of the podcast. I may expand to something like Reddit or possibly Tumblr. But basically, what I want to have for content here is something that encompasses the, media, recent events, some entertainment type stuff, and just things to, make you think a little bit or wind you down at the end of the week. It's my intention to put this podcast out every Friday morning, preferably before I go to work. And we'll see what happens. Maybe I only ever do like one episode, but it's something worth trying. And I figured it's worth a try. So let's get started. I have a Twitter account. This has never been used before. Well, actually, I set it up a couple of years ago when I had this idea. And then it never got used. So I've cleared it all out. I'm following no one. No one's following me. I don't necessarily care that anybody knows of this account. And so it will stay there. For video viewers, you're seeing some of my social information above the camera view. Feel free to follow me on those things. Audio listeners, I'll run that down at the end of the show. It's mostly just there to sort of take up space. I'm going to play with the layout of the video for a little bit. But let us get started. So we need to find some people to follow. I'm a huge fan of NPR, so that's going to be one of our first follows. I'd say probably the first well, I was going to have 10 minutes for my intro section and this, but it's been 10 minutes already, so I'll give myself somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes to try to find some people to follow. Don't try this. We're going to follow Adam Savage. He has a lot of amazing stuff on Twitter. For example, there's a GIF right here. God, I love information. I can just hear Adam saying these things. And the person who tweeted that out says, I've never related to anything more than I do to this. Oops. What else was I going to follow? Oh, Fry R Squared. So I went to a conference called MongoDB World 2 years ago? 2.5 years ago, I suppose. And Adam Savage spoke at it. And I think it was just sort of his generic, like, I'm traveling on the road bit. But there was another person who spoke. Her name was Hannah Fry, and we're going to follow her. She's at Fry R Squared on Twitter. And she just has some like really sort of nerdy, geeky things that she tweets about, which is relatively entertaining. So that's fine. Oh goodness, who else did I want to follow? I had a rundown of people. So no, that's not what I wanted. Oh, Red Sox, of course. Audio viewers will, or excuse me, video viewers will notice that there are some suggestions in the search dropdown based on some previous things. I'm gonna follow Barack Obama. He's really just a classy dude, and I apologize if I alienate anyone by doing this, but I think he is a worthwhile influence that we should spend some time watching or reading on Twitter. We rate dogs. So this is about as gimmicky as I want to get with the show. If you don't follow We Rate Dogs on Twitter, basically people tweet pictures of dogs and they're just like, oh hey, 10 out of 10 or whatever. So here we'll do a quick reading as an example. Here is it's a series of pictures of a corgi. Corgi's in the water. There's some ducks following the corgi. And they say, here's a heartwarming scene of a single father raising his two pups. Downright awe-inspiring AF. 12 out of 10 for everyone. Clearly, I'm still working out some of my pronunciation this morning. It's a little early. I do hope nobody minds. That's so interesting. There's a whole series of we rate lizards, we rate sharks, we rate frogs. Strange. A lot of this podcast is going to be focused on me, my interests, as we get started here. So I'm going to follow Achievement Hunter. These guys, and I'm going to follow a few of the people who work at Achievement Hunter. But these guys really have had a significant influence on my adult life, which is a really strange thing to say, but their YouTube channel, they record videos of people playing video games, but there's this really incredible worldwide community. I'm scrolling down for people on the video to see sort of the content that we're going to encounter here. But I don't know, there's something really special about what they've done for the internet and what their parent company Rooster Teeth has done for the internet, and considering that this is an internet podcast, it seems appropriate. So, while we're here, I'm going to follow Jack P. Jack Patillo is one of the founding members at Achievement Hunter. Generally, well, I like him. I think sometimes he can be a little polarizing for some people, but that's God. You know, I want to find Jeremy Dooley, who is a local boy who is now a member of Achievement. I was right, Jeremy N. Dooley. That's his Twitter name. I'm following him because he's a local boy and because he's part of Achievement Hunter. Trust me, I won't be following all the members. The last one that I want to follow is, of course, Gavin Free, who is just sort of an interesting dude, and the creator of Slow Mo Guys, which if you haven't heard of them, please go check them out because they are pretty awesome. Boy, what a weird set of suggestions I have on this account. So I want to follow some bands. This is really strange. When I first had this idea, I was like, oh yeah, I'll totally follow one of my all-time favorite bands, Linkin Park. In the in-between period, and I mean 2 years, Chester passed away. So I don't know how active they're going to be. And that's a really strange thing to experience. I almost feel like I waited too long, you know? Well, Deathtron, yes, Peter Olson. This is the guy that I follow on my personal account. He's a little political in a lot of his tweets, which sometimes I wonder if I really want on the show, but he worked at Marvel. He did some really cool stuff at Marvel, and I think he's an interesting dude, so I'm going to follow him. We'll see how that works out. I guess I'll follow the official at Marvel account. That'll give us some present day stuff to talk about. And I feel like I should have a few more before we really get into the session here, but we're coming up on my 15 minutes for my intro segment, so hey, let's follow Netflix. They have a bunch of interesting shows and stuff that we could talk about. Like there's something really significant that I'm missing. American media. I'm sort of a huge nerd. I just realized I don't follow a lot of like tech aggregators on Twitter. I don't want this to be a bunch of spammy Twitter accounts. So like, I'm hesitant to follow BuzzFeed. Oh, but I do want to follow my local NPR, which is WBUR. I should have come right out and say this at the beginning. I live in Massachusetts, specifically in the Boston area. My content is going to be somewhat specific to Boston. I would like to expand that beyond just here, and I think through friends and, you know, people around the country, if you're listening to this and you think that I should reframe, focus on a person who is a, you know, influence in your local area, please let me know. I'd love to expand this beyond just my view. That's part of the reason why I'm putting this out there, is, you know, to create that that sort of content sharing. So at any rate, we're at our 15-minute block, so let's kick it off here. Hopefully we'll find some interesting things to follow while we're scrolling through. That is the idea. And if not, then, you know, we'll try to use Twitter's follow these people and blah 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 blah. So so let's give a start. The problem with doing this at 6 o'clock or 6:30 is that NPR and WBUR is tweeting out all of their news. This is a recipe link. Chef at Maine Cook's double chocolate bread can be topped with whipped cream and seasonal fruit and served as a dessert. What? Quick bread recipes that rise to any occasion without yeast. Oh, wow. My mother had a bread machine when I was a kid. That, I don't know why that just came back to me. Obviously because I'm reading about bread. I can't remember specifically baking bread with her. I was very, very young, but I feel like we must have used it at least once. It was a weird thing. It looked kind of like a microwave, but like it could sit on the back part of the microwave, you know, like where that metal sheet always is. And you just sort of popped open this thing, and I think you just stuffed the dough in, closed it, hit a button, and it went off to the races. You still had to do all the dough and all the kneading and whatever, but I want to read this next tweet, but it's again one of those things where I want to be very delicate to not get super polarizing right here at the beginning. Despite the real pain and anger over school shootings, the numbers show such incidents are not increasing. But statistics are a cold comfort at a school where it's happened. This is a thing that's happening a lot here I go contradicting the title I've just read. This is the thing that's happening in the United States, and this is the conversation that's happening a lot around, you know, the U.S. and specifically the schools. Hopefully we'll see some tweets from earlier in the week that go into this a little bit more, but you know, it's a real thing. It's a real conversation that people have to have, and it's not going to be easy. Yeah. So I'm just gonna scroll through, try to get through some of this news. This really is a lot of it actually is news. I have to be careful. Yeah, that Peter Olson follow was pretty tricky. He's retweeted quite a few things. Here we go. So we'll go a little bit lighter here. I don't know how many people out there are going to be Red Sox fans. I don't care. Or I don't. Not to say I don't care. I don't know how many people have been following them and are interested in this stuff. But someone on the Red Sox, and I haven't done any snooping around to figure out who it is, but someone on the Red Sox is dressing up as this sort of homely looking news reporter, and he's interviewing Red Sox players. And so Joe Kelly is a Boston Red Sox pitcher. He tweets out, "Wow, straight for the jugular with hashtag Jim Buchanan." Jim Buchanan is the fake name given to this person. That's a retweet of the Red Sox account saying Jim Buchanan isn't afraid to ask hard-hitting questions. So it could be that this guy is actually Joe Kelly in disguise, possibly. But it looks like he's hanging out in the Red Sox clubhouse and he's found Brock Holt and he's going over to ask some questions. I am hesitant to play this video with the audio because I'm not sure what it's going to do to the recording, and I know it's not going to come through in the audio section. So we'll keep scrolling for now. I wish I did have some musicians that I could think to follow. I don't know how active everybody's gonna be. This is a really good example of why I wanted to follow Barack Obama. He is of course a NCAA, March Madness basketball fan, and so I don't know if he tweeted out his own bracket at some point, but George H.W. Bush, the first Bush, number 41 for people who understand the order of presidents, tweeted respectfully differing with at Barack Obama. So out on a limb here, but I have a gut feeling my at TAMU, which I believe is Texas A&M, are going the distance. And he's tweeted out, George Bush has tweeted out his picks for March Madness. Barack Obama, retweets that and adds his own that says, 41, like the competition and the loyalty to the home team. 44. That's just like a nice little friendly thing that we can just enjoy. Love it. What? 2 videos you need to see. My one-day build collaboration with at Don't Try This, so that's Adam Savage, building a ring wraith gauntlet from foam on tested comm. 2, my video finishing and painting the gauntlet. That is really, really something. I am not going to be able to describe this for audio listeners, so I apologize, but like if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings and you've watched Lord of the Rings, the movies, these gauntlets are spot on and really well detailed too. I apologize now to the video viewers. I've realized that when I pop out some of these images, it gets offset left, and so some of the images getting cut off for you. But I just wanted to bring this up to try to show some of the detail in the screws, and there's hinges and joints. The gauntlet has been treated to look aged, and that's nice. That's real nice. This is the kind of stuff that Adam Savage, will retweet a lot. It's incredible to see someone inspiring people worldwide to go out and create all of these things. Sorry. So I'm specifically not following the NPR politics account. However, the NPR proper account has retweeted the politics account. I believe this is safe for me to say. Quote, "I've been dying to use that bad pun now, and I get to use it. Yay! Catch tonight's roundup for more on Russian sanctions, the national student walkout, and bad at Connor Lamb PA puns." Connor Lamb is, of course, it's looking like, I don't know if his opponent has actually conceded yet. I don't know if there's still more things to count. But Connor Lamb is looking like he's the newest, I believe, representative. I apologize, I don't know off the top of my head. But the newest representative from Pennsylvania. There's a GIF here that says, "We saw a real lamb slide." I assume the person in this GIF, there's sunglasses that are sliding in over this person's eyes. I assume this person is a NPR politics reporter. Connor Lamb is a gentleman. So, oh no. Whoops, we just had our first hiccup. I clicked on a link and it took me through to another Twitter account and I lost my place in the scroll. Originally, I was going to do this in my browser, and I may retreat back to that idea, but I decided to try it in the Windows 10 Twitter app because it seemed to be a safe capture for the video. But, I wanna try to find some more people to follow. This is sort of why this is episode 0. A, it's going to be a little bit longer than a normal episode, and B, we're still getting up and running. So, I wonder if Anthony Kiedis? Red Hot Chili Peppers. I believe. Okay. So this is Chad. Chad is the drummer from Red Hot Chili Peppers, who seems like he's a pretty chill dude. Maybe the rest of those guys don't have a Twitter account. That would not surprise me too much. Let's follow Chad Smith. He's a pretty chill dude. I don't think we'll have any problems coming from him. And who did I just think of? Oh, hey. I just randomly hit a letter and Elon Musk popped up. That's not a bad idea. He's a cool dude who's doing some incredible stuff for the world. Freddie Prince Jr. Oh, it was there. Real FP Jr. That's his Twitter account. Freddie Prince is one of those guys who I think a lot of people will just like, yeah, he faded off into the background of everything. But he's got a really entertaining Twitter account. I don't know, man. Oh, of course. I have to be a total jerk here, and by that I mean I'm being very selfish with these 2 follows. I want to follow Mixer, which is the service that I use for live streaming, and I want to follow Twitch, which is the leading service. I'll say that hands down, the leading service for live streaming. Twitch has some hits and misses. Mixer, still has a long way to go, but they tweet out some interesting things, and it's stuff that it's worth talking about. So I'm gonna read their pinned tweet, which for me I think embodies a lot of things that live streaming is all about. So we want to thank all of you for helping to build this amazing Twitch community. Whether you stream, sub, chat, mod, lurk, or do everything, you're an indispensable and important part of our world. and they have the hashtag bleed purple, which is a Twitch specific thing. But, you know, more and more I'm able to find people who are live streaming games and they want to build a community. That's their focus. And that's really something pretty special. It's a bunch of people out in the world doing a thing to try to just get positive energy out, and it's awesome. I think it's really, really incredible. So the next thing, I don't know who all these people are in this picture, but I know this gentleman is Drake. That gentleman is he's a Twitter streamer, or excuse me, he's a Twitch streamer. I'm going to confuse those terms a lot. Twitter and Twitch, not the same thing. He's a Twitch streamer. I believe he is just Ninja on Twitch, and he is at Ninja on Twitter. But he has recently really blown up with a game called Fortnite. He does some really incredible things. You know, I'll look up some of his tweets, but he, because of this rapid increase in viewership with Fortnite, he played the game with Drake a couple nights ago, and I didn't watch, but the aftermath, like, oh my goodness, this man got so many followers, so many new viewers that had never been on Twitch before, so many subscriptions, which, you know, people subscribe to his channel for a monthly fee of, well, it depends. I won't get into the specifics, you know, and he gets some percentage of that. And, like, man, that's just incredible. You know, some people complain and think that, you know, the system's rigged and all these kinds of things, but, like, no, he has done something really incredible. And so this is just sort of a tweet from Twitch that says, "We had the strangest dream last night, and you were there. You just talking about how many people showed up to this thing. It's crazy. Oh man. So here's a little meme. Still based on the same subject. I'm just scrolling through Twitch's Twitter feed right now. You have this whole Drake, you know, meme on one side where he's, you know, doing the whole putting his hand up and shying away, like, no, I don't want that. And then he's got the, like, smug, you know, thing. I don't know. It's from one of his music videos. I'm never going to be able to explain a meme for audio listeners. I'm so sorry. I hope you know what I'm talking about. If you Google Drake meme, you'll probably get it. But anyway, the top one where Drake is sort of shying away. On the other side of the image, we have Ninja saying, "Use in-game voice chat." And then down on the bottom where Drake is, you know, doing the whole, like, how about this, you know, sort of smug face, it says, "Call me on my cell phone," which is, of course, from one of Drake's songs. I think. Pretty sure. And you have Ninja smiling like, "Oh, I got you." To whoever submitted a 56-page PDF of Sonic Hedgehog memes as your resume with the name "Gotta Go Fast," let's talk. Wait, did somebody apply to Twitch with that? Wow. Oh, because the tweet before that is they're looking for a director of social media. Got it. Okay. Do we actually follow Twitch? Started scrolling. Okay, cool. We did. I wanted to follow musicians. Uh-oh. I've just glanced over at my ambient background music, and I've discovered that I only have 5 minutes of the track left. Which is actually going to bring me 5 minutes short of how long I wanted the episode. But it's a 40-minute song! So, that makes sense. I'll sort out some more things to follow in my own time. Let's take a moment here, and by a moment I mean like the next 5 to 10 minutes. And let's look at some of the trending hashtags. So we have hashtag take a pirate to the movie, or to the movies, excuse me. Argo. Nice. American Booty. And be sure it's rated R. Armageddon. Oh, that's weird. Those are accounts that were in between tweets. Who framed Jolly Roger Rabbit? Jurassic Pirate? I would have gone for Jurassic Park. Yeah. Ooh. That's better. Anyway. Oh, Scally Tags? Is that who started this? The Rum of All Fears. What about Jack Sparrow? I, Robot. A Few Good Pirates, with a gif of Tom Cruise saying, I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. 51st Mates? Plank Girl. I'm not sure what that's a spin on. Blank Girl or... Oh. Star Wars. Nice. Gonna try to keep this as family friendly as possible. It is the internet. I apologize. Avast Times at Ridgemont High. Uncle Buck. Oh, what a great movie. Being Long John Silver Malkovich. Citizen Hook. Eye Patch Adams. This is sort of fitting. I don't think this has anything to do with the video game I'm thinking of, but there's a video game called Sea of Thieves that's coming out in a couple of weeks. Actually, it might be next week. It might be on the 20th. So it's sort of fun to see all these pirate-related tweets. Rum Forest Rum. Finding Captain Nemo. I don't see a pirate. Well, I suppose depending on your interpretation or which Captain Nemo you're thinking of. The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Captain Nemo, he was sort of pirate-ish. Diamonds are forever. Whoop. Don't tell mom the babysitter's dread pirate Roberts. I believe it's Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Maybe. I don't know that I've ever seen the movie. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna start up a second track here in a second. I'm gonna do my best to try to make this transition as easy as possible. What I'm going to do is try to leave 5 to 10 minutes in the track. Boop. Ooh, that was a harsh transition. I suddenly don't want to listen to that. I'm sorry. That's much better. Oh well. For the people on the audio podcast, you absolutely didn't hear that. Because I have to edit in the music at the end. So, oof, I really kind of hurt myself on that one. That's going to be a terrible transition for the audio listeners. I'm sorry. Long John's Silver Linings Playbook. Long John Wick. I see. Triple X marks the spot. You know, that's not a bad idea. I've just found some inspiration. Let's follow... I think Vin Diesel... Yeah, he has a Twitter account. Of course he would. Oh, he hasn't tweeted in a long time, though. Almost a year. Vin Diesel, come back! Oh! I wonder if The Rock... Can we find The Rock? You think he's just at The Rock? Yeah, he is. I read an article... Oh gosh, probably a year ago. I was on a plane. I can't remember. Maybe it was more than a year ago. But it was arguing that The Rock should run for president and would get like 100% of the vote. Basically, he is the most likable person that the author had ever met. And they were just, you know, so caught up in his charisma and everything. They were like, you just... Yes, of course he should run for president, you know? It was a little bit before the whole, like, oh, Oprah should run for president, and this person, and that person, and everything, you know, but, like, it was interesting to me. It was the first one I heard of. So, this is a tweet. Sorry, I had to take a minute to collect my thoughts there. Found my new stunt double at Conan O'Brien. just like looking in the mirror. A messed up carnival mirror. That's me censoring myself. I know, video viewers. Like I said, I want to try to keep this as family friendly as possible. But it looks like Conan O'Brien... I guess this must have been on his night show. Did a segment where he tried to be a stunt double for The Rock. The height almost works. It actually looks like Conan's perhaps a little bit taller, but he's wearing this ridiculous thing to hide his hair, and that might be giving him the extra inch or two. And then there's this, I'm assuming, person in a monkey suit who's supposed to be, you know, the Rampage ape, or I guess it's an ape. I guess it doesn't have a tail. But it's all obviously it's all a promo for the Rampage movie, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, which that is not a video game I anticipated becoming a movie. Oh, yep. Yeah, this was totally a segment that they did on Conan O'Brien tonight. Or Conan? I don't know what the show is called. I'm sorry. Let's see what else he's doing. Probably most of these tweets are gonna be about his upcoming movie, since it's coming out maybe next week or something like that. Wow, he hung out with the LA Lakers. Possibly the only people in the world to be taller than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson would be basketball stars. Of course. Oh, and that's Magic Johnson. Oh, of course. That's awesome. Oh yeah, I suppose he's at least part owner in the Lakers. I think. Really testing my sports knowledge right now. Baseball I can do pretty well. Most other sports, football I can probably fake it a little bit. Other sports, got nothing. So this is Ryan Parker, who I'm not familiar with, but perhaps he's a film critic or something like that. At The Rock pokes fun at himself in the new Rampage teaser. And The Rock was nice enough to retweet that and say, can't take it too serious, gotta have fun. Wait, what? One of my coworkers really likes The Rock, so he made him themed cupcakes for his birthday. Hope The Rock approves. And The Rock was nice enough to retweet this and say, happy birthday to your coworker. Remember to start with my head. You can never go wrong with starting at the head. That sounds creepy. Never mind. Awesome. Oh, I love it. So, yeah, maybe I really do need to switch over to the web-based Twitter page for this stuff, because I was hoping to find suggestions, but I'm not finding them. Oh, this is interesting. This is in literature news from All Things Considered, which is an NPR program. In the latest battle involving the works of Harper Lee, the author's estate is suing the producer, Scott Rudin, over the script of an upcoming Broadway play of To Kill a Mockingbird. And I guess the script was written by Aaron Sorkin, which, I mean, I'm sure it does it justice, but that's interesting. The author's lawyer says a contract bars the producers of a high-profile stage adaptation from departing, quote, in any manner from the spirit of the classic novel. Oh, maybe it didn't work out super well. Oh my goodness. Oh, and we've just ended our track, so you know what? Let's end with this last tweet. iHeartMedia, the country's largest radio broadcaster. Oh, did it just start another track? I didn't ask you to do that. Sorry, audio listeners, you probably won't hear that next track until I figure out how to feed that in correctly into my audio recording. But iHeartMedia, the country's largest radio broadcaster, with around 850 stations and a leading outdoor advertising company, is filing for bankruptcy. I wonder what's going to happen to them. I'm going to go read that article after this, but you know, I'll sort of leave off with this, which I think is a nice summarizing point for the podcast. iHeartRadio did a really awesome thing for radio. They brought it to the internet, and you know, radio's a tough media. I think it still holds a place in the world, you know, but you have to figure out how to broadcast, simulcast, if we want to take it that far, which is to say broadcast simultaneously. You know, your stuff that you're broadcasting over the airwaves and the stuff that's available online. One thing that bothers me about, you know, radio broadcasting is there are certain shows mostly having to do with, baseball games and stuff. You can't get a free online broadcast of those things. You have to pay money. And I understand that's more on the MLB than, your local radio station or whatever. But iHeartRadio's not charging people to listen to the thing that you could get if you clicked on, your crystal radio or, whatever your handheld radio of choice is. And that's really too bad. I mean, sort of makes sense, right? They're not charging money, so they're not making money, and suddenly you have all these costs and nothing's coming in the door. You have to rely on something? No. So it makes sense that they end up filing for bankruptcy, but it's sort of too bad. Sorry, iHeartRadio. I hope you can, I don't know, get it all sorted out. It would be sad for them to go. But well, there you have it. Wow, that's episode 0. We're gonna be a little over 50 minutes, which is a little over my target of 45 minutes, but we sort of had played it fast and loose with the intro. We're playing it fast and loose with the outro. I will have an actual timer for the episode 1. But I think this was good. I think this was fun. Yeah. Wow. All right. I'm never good at wrapping these things up, but I feel like if I'm doing one specific thing and I'm not just playing a random video game for people who may or may not be on the internet, maybe I'll get a little bit better at this. So I'll leave you with a thanks. Thank you to everybody who came by to watch this. That's more live streamy than I intended it to be. Thank you to everybody who's watching this on YouTube. Thank you to everybody who is listening to this on either your favorite podcasting platform, if I can get that sorted out, or directly on SoundCloud. I plan to do more of these, and I will do the best I can to make this happen on a regular basis. This leaves me feeling good about the show in general. So we're gonna give it the old college try. For folks who want to follow me on Twitter, you can go over to @mdubs. And for people who want to follow me for my live streaming, you can follow me over on mixer.com/m_dubs. I think that's all the plugging I'm going to do for now. Hopefully I'll see you next week. For people watching this on YouTube, I need 100 subscribers in order to set a custom channel name and have just a link that's like youtube.com/ whatever. So I would really love a subscription if you have a YouTube account. I'm not going to force anybody's hand on that. But if you can't do that and you've liked the show, please share it with some friends. I think that's one way to help out. If things are really successful here, then I'll come up with more creative ways for people to help out and be a fan of the show and all those things. But right now it's episode 0. We're just getting started. I've never done this before. Just share with some friends. So I'll leave you all with a thing that I say to my live stream. Stay well, be nice to each other, and don't forget to come back for more. Thanks everyone, and we'll see you next week.